Nisa. She was an empress who belonged to the great Mughal dynasty. Born in 1597 in Kandahar, Afghanistan, into a noble family from Persia, she was the fourth child of Mirza Ghias Beg and his wife, Asmat Begum. Her father Ghias Beg served the great Mughal Emperor Akbar, who bestowed him with the title of Itmat-ud-Dawla, means pillar of the state, while her brother Asif Khan served Jahangir and the next heir to the Mughal throne, Emperor Shah Jahan. She was one of the most influential women of her era. Meher-Nisa was first married at the age of 17 to a Persian adventurer named Sher Afghan Ali Quli Khan, who was renowned for his brilliant military career and from whom she bore a daughter named Ladili Begum. After Sher Afghan's death in 1607, Meher-Nisa began serving the Royal Mughal Empire. Despite going through a bad phase with her father being charged embezzlement and two of her family members being executed on grounds of treason, luck shone on her as during a spring festival Nowruz in 1611, Jahangir saw her at the palace Meena Bazaar and was fixated by her stunning beauty. He married her after a few months in the same year. The couple's infatuation for each other was so immense that she became his favorite wife, whom he affectionately named Nur Mahal, means the light of the palace, after the marriage, and later on Nur Jahan, means the light of the world, in 1616. Jahangir even bestowed her with the royal power to govern the affairs of the state. She issued her first royal order to protect the land rights of an employee. Her signature in the order read Nur Jahan Pacha Begum, which translates as Nur Jahan the Lady Emperor. In 1617, gold and silver coins which bore her name opposite that of Jahangir started circulating. One courtier described an incident where she surprised many by appearing in the imperial balcony, which was reserved for men only. Jahangir's addiction to alcohol and opium, leading to his disinterest in administration, results in Nur Jahan controlling the reign and leading the great Mughal Empire into a flourishing period. Besides managing the royal government, she was instrumental in administrative matters regarding good tariff from merchants, women affairs, trade both domestic and overseas, making the Mughal capital of Agra a booming commercial hub. Nur lived a life that was unusual among women at the time. She also led an army to save the emperor when he was taken captive, a daring act which ensured that her name was etched indelible in public imagination and history. The most beguiling of Nur Jahan's artistic contributions was the most ephemeral gardening. A prolific garden designer, she has been called the greatest garden lover of them all. One of the most notable is the Nur of Shah, means light scattering in Agra, completed around 1690. It is the oldest Mughal garden. The garden has beautiful fountains and cascades running through the center of the geometric squares. She erected large open pavilions between the cascades so that the summer breeze was cooled by the water as she sat down in the open-air structures reading and writing poetry. Nur Jahan's designs reflect the affluence of her empire as her enthusiasm and ardor of her Persian tradition. Nur Jahan's artistry was not limited to regal creations. As a pragmatic woman, she recognized that travelers needed taverns, particularly in the incredible heat of India, so she ordered sarais or inns. These sarais with resting places for approximately 500 horses and 2,000 travelers were run by the empire. As a religious woman, she also had mosques constructed, the most famous one of which is in Srinagar, Kashmir, erected in 1623 and was called the Shahi Masjid, means the imperial mosque. The culinary tradition of India attributes several dishes to Nur Jahan. She was particularly adept at creating meat preparations. New recipes of rare and distinguished taste have endured the tests of palate and time. Stitched instead of rag clothing, longer skirt lengths, a type of tight trouser called pajama, and fashionably designed scarves are also attributed to Nur Jahan's revolution in designing. The most popular outfits in modern days are the Nur Jahani styles of apparel and pattern. As she came from a literary and scholarly family, so she composed competent poetry. Once Jahangir wore a garment in which rubies were used in place of buttons. As soon as she saw him, she composed a verse. "It is not the ruby you wear on your robe, it is a drop of my blood that has seized you by the collar." The glorious and illustrious reign of arguably the most distinguished of all Mughal queens came to a sudden end when Emperor Jahangir died on October 28, 1627, leaving the question of succession undecided as Nur Jahan had no children with him. She was confined to spend the rest of her life in a plush mansion by her stepson Khurram, known as Shah Jahan. There she spent her days constructing the magnificent tomb of Ikmat-ud-Dawla in Agra for her beloved father. Nur Jahan passed away in 1645 and lies at her splendid mausoleum located at Shadra in Lahore alongside the tomb of Jahangir. Thank you so much for watching. Please do give us feedback on today's video.